classes. I'm happy with being teacher, like you. What am I going to tell about today? A lesson plan for the team 9 about including the grammar subject, the difference between be, going to, and will for the 9th classes. Invitations and celebrations, the subject. I have prepared a lesson plan. This lesson plan includes, as I said, the difference between be, going to, and will. What does this lesson plan include and aim? However, I have benefited from Arzu Coach teacher's slides of the lecture on the 18th of February. By the way, thanks to her. What does this lesson plan include and aim? A surprise birthday party plan to focus on the subject be, going to. Some pictures related to a birthday party to focus on the subject will. In the third place, I said working together to be a good team. Because they are gonna work together. They are gonna work in groups of 4. They are gonna work all together for one plan. Then this birthday plan include, what does the birthday plan include? This birthday plan include the list of food and drinks which one of the groups determines, the time and place of the party that one of the groups organizes, the seating arrangement, birthday table arrangement, the time part starts, blah, blah, blah. The invitation cards written by their names and decorated with adornments. Here we need 2 groups because it's a hard work. The songs that are going to be played in the party and be determined by one of the groups. They are gonna plan all of them themselves because they are planning a party. In the end, my aim, the students will understand the difference between be, going to, and will because they will have used be, going to for their own plan and will for guessing the others' plans about the party in the pictures. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Fatma Hocam.
I thank you, Sibel Hocam, for this academy.
Thank you, Fatma Hocam. It's nice to hear this. So you get lots of thank yous.
Thank you.
Now it's Perican Hoca's turn. Thank you. See you again sometime. Okay, Perican Hocam, can you hear us? Are you ready? Pınar hocam, can you hear us? Would you like to start? Okay, we can continue with Nihal Hoca. She has been asking for it to be sure, or you can continue in the order. Nihal Hocam, it's going to be your turn.
Sesim geliyor mu?
Yes.
Duyabiliyor musunuz? Okay. Open. I want to. Can I change the slides?
Hocam, I just sent you the mail through mail again. If you want, or we can continue with. Okay. Okay, maybe we can put some other presentation if this is gonna take long. Ümit Hocam, are you ready? Can you hear me? Nihal Hocam. Hello, Nihal Hocam. Can you hear us? Nihal hocam, you can start already.
I see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Now, right, scrolling down. Yes, first I started with my school. It is located in Zeytinburnu. From the start, it is Nihal Zeytinburnu kız ama Anadolu İmam Hatip Lisesi. And first I started with my school, a big school, and go and school classes when I started. 2013, started from, it was the first İmam Hatip in Turkey.
Nihal hocam, we can't hear you. Could you please turn up the volume? I think Nihal hoca is trying to connect.
At the beginning. But from this year,
Okay, we'll just wait for a few minutes until Nihal hoca gets back. It's so busy today. The lines are so busy. So we're having some connection. Okay, yes, Perican hocam, can you hear us? Two of our teachers are trying. Perican hocam, are you ready? Okay, Hal hocam, we can take Perican hocam. Here, Perican. No, we can't hear you. Maybe when we assign her as the presenter, we'll be able to hear her, maybe. I see. Is Nihal Hoca back?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we.
You hear me?
Yes, Nihal hocam, we can hear you. Can you please continue? We can't see you, but it's okay. You can continue with your presentation because we can hear you.
But this is not my presentation.
Is it? Are you Pınar Hoca or Perican Hoca?
Perican is speaking now.
Perican, can I put your presentation?
Thank you. Yes. May I start?
Yes, please go. Hello, welcome, Perican hocam.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to have you here. You can start your presentation.
Okay. Hello, dear Sibel Hocam and dear colleagues. I'm going to give a short presentation about works of art in ELT. As you remember, Dr. Arzu Ekoç from Yıldız Technical University represented us the use of art in ELT classes. It was one of the academic topics. I was impressed. Well, okay, let me start. Yes, I want to talk about my school. In short, I worked in Oruç Gazi for 7 years. This is a secondary school with 23 classrooms and about 800 students. Its success level is not high because of the socio-economic situation of the school district, but despite all, sometimes good things happen thanks to our teachers' efforts. And our Erasmus Plus project was the most important one. That's why I want to share it with you. And yes, let's start. Why use art? There are many reasons, but I think it's the best sentence to explain it, I think. Art connects with students on a sensory level, getting their whole bodies involved as they learn language. And here are some advantages. And suitable for all types of learners, useful for language recycling, enhance team building skills, and foster communication skills, include cross-cultural activities, unleash students' creativity and use imagination creatively. Yes, now I'm going to talk about my sample lesson plan to foster L2 speaking and writing using art. And learning objectives. The first one, to foster students' speaking and writing skills. To practice grammar, my grammar topic present progressive tenses, to enhance their vocabulary. And the next one, to develop students' creative and critical thinking skills, to get practice asking questions, doing interviews, and using WH questions. And by the end of the class, students will be able to use WH questions, talk about daily routines, and use target vocabulary. Yes. And now actions. And actions, what and why to do, how and when to do. Yes. Action 1. In this part, teacher shows the famous painting, The Dance Lesson, on the smart board. After that, she asks students what they know about ballerinas and what message the artist wants to convey. In this way, they do a brainstorm in group. What is the aim of teacher? To truly engage students with English in a creative way. Responding to art will have the potential to develop students' creative and critical thinking skills. And the next action, presentation part. Teacher asks students to focus at least one character in the picture as pair work speaking task. Next, she asks them to invent a backstory for them and give some leading questions to the students, showing on the board. Teacher I think there's a problem. I'm not controlling the presentation now. That's a problem?
That's okay. Go on.
And what is the aim of the presentation part? This simple activity gets students to use their critical thinking skills to take the characters off the page by trying to imagine them in a broader context. Yes, this is the view of smart board. It will be like this. Here is a painting and some leading questions for the students. Yes, let's go on. Next part, action 3. Teacher has the students imagine they are in the painting. She also says, wish you were here, and directs them to talk about why they are there, what they see, and how they feel there. The pair students talk about their opinions, and the teacher encourages the students to use target vocabulary as necessary. What is the aim? It's a great way to practice present and present progressive tenses, to introduce and use unusual vocabulary depending on what painting students are discussing. Yes, next part, it is freer practice than the others. Teacher has each person imagine that they are interviewing the person in the painting. Before the activity, teacher brainstorms a list of interview questions with the class so that the students have a good bank of questions. After that, they should choose 3 to 5 interview questions, it depends of course, and write down a fictitious interview between them and the person in the painting. In doing so, students will get practice asking questions, doing interviews, and writing. Yes, it's evaluation part. Teacher gives students some time to reflect on how they accomplished that task. Students discuss the activity in the groups. They perform the task. You hear me? Now it's
Yes,
open.
hocam, we can hear you.
Okay. Students self-evaluate. The aim of this part to assist in making students more aware of and more responsible for their own learning process. Yes, at the end of the lesson, teacher assigns writing a paragraph to students. She asks them to think about what the ballerinas do after the dance lesson and to write about one of the subjects in the painting. What is the aim? Of course, to encourage students to take initiative and responsibility for completing a task and to reinforce the use of third-person singular in present simple tense. Yes. Here. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I completely agree with it, but in a classroom atmosphere, there are some potential problems. One of them, art is very subjective as you know. So we may be faced with students who are reluctant to engage with the chosen examples of art. What can we do in this situation? Encourage students to choose which works of art are explored, or alternatively ensure that a variety of styles are represented. And another problem is that students may not perceive some art-related activities to be useful for language learning. What should we do? As this is our primary goal, it's very important to structure activities very carefully so that there is a clear outcome and learning points. Yes. I have some advice for you. Here are some websites to find good ideas, worksheets, and printables. Especially the first one, ISL Collective, is full of art materials for you. And the second one includes lesson plans for art. And the last one is full of worksheets, printables, and lesson plans. Yes, thank you very much. I would like to my gratitude to all of you, in particular to Sibel Hocam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, hocam. Nice listening to you. It was very nice. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Please share.
Thank you.
Hocam, we can put, are we gonna try Nihal hocam? Nihal hocam, can you hear us? Hocam, you gonna continue? Okay, Pınar hocam, we are going to try your presentation, and afterwards, Nihal hocam, we can try yours again, maybe at the end. Pınar hocam, can you hear us?
Yeah, okay. Can you hear? Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Um, okay, yeah. Uh, okay, I see. Okay, my topic is using art in classes, language classes. Art could be a really effective way to teach and learn a language when we integrate it with four skills, and it would be enjoyable. It would set an enjoyable environment for students to while learning things and while communicating each other, and also would encourage them to create their own works. So I uh, decided to do some exercises with my friend, with my students. Sorry for my voice, by the way. Because we are staying at home in during these weeks, so I studied with my ninth grades uh, on our online sessions, and we uh, had two online sessions about these activities, so it lasted about 70 minutes. We just tried to do the exercises. It could be better in face-to-face classroom environment, but we tried our best. Hope you like it. And our aims were to attract the students' attentions to the target structures. Last week's we talked about simple past tense as a grammar topic, and we always do communicative exercises. So we had two activities in this for this works, and first of all were about grammar topic. I mean the past simple. And another aim was to set an enjoyable classroom atmosphere for the students, and it really worked. And also collaboration. We did one of the tasks all together and the other in pairs. And also I wanted to increase their creativity. So let's see the activities. The first one was about Claude Monet's Train in the Snow painting. We had a look at the painting and then tried to describe it. By the way, the language focus was a grammar focus, simple past tense, and so we did narration. We tried to write a short story about this painting. First of all, they described the picture, the environment, and they thought it's a place like Russia or Canada, but most of them thought it could be Russia. So we imagined it's Russia really, and they noticed that man, that person in black. So we gave him a name, and they said Ivan. It's a stereotypical Russian name. And then we tried to make up a story about that man, Ivan. And I gave them, it was a guided writing, so I gave them the first sentence and some words to use to help them to set this story. And they took turns, and each told one sentence, and then we did it all together, in fact, and then finished the story together. And this was the story. And the first sentence was given by me. It was a freezing day in Vladivostok. So Ivan, the lawyer, woke up and at 8 to get to the train station. He wanted to drink something, a cup of coffee. There are some spelling problems, so I'm sorry for that. He dressed up and he was elegant. The train was almost gone. By the way, the train was almost gone. He ran to catch it, etc. This was the story. And he was late for work, and the boss fired him. Then he started looking for another job, and immediately he found the job the same day, they said. And he met a girl in the new office and his wife to be, and it was a happy ending. So I thought they would think it's a gloomy day, it's winter time, so I was expecting a sad story, but they wrote a happy ending, so I liked it really. And then they write the title, choose a title delay, because he was late for the work, but it had a good ending. And this was the first one, and the second one was that painting Renoir in the garden, and there's a couple sitting in the garden. They again, first we made a speaking exercise. They describe the environment. They imagined something about this couple, their age, their names, and I wanted them to give them names and write a dialogue between these two. And some of them wanted to work individually and some wanted to work in pairs. The pairs communicated through WhatsApp and they wrote some dialogues. Here are some of them. Here there's Robert and Patricia. They love each other, but Patricia is engaged, so she leaves Robert. This is an example. And in the other one, there's Maria and Arthur is a soldier, and he needs to go to war. And there's a dialogue between two, and they love each other again. They say, "Oh, my dear darling, my lovely darling," etc. Because of the pictures being so, there are flowers everywhere, and the people dressed in different styles in old times. So the language is really suitable. And in this one, there's Romeo and Juliet. Romeo loves Juliet. Juliet doesn't want him because he loves Mejnun. And this one was really funny, and because Mejnun is cool, she loves him, and she doesn't want Romeo. And there's some slang at the end, but I didn't want to change it. It's an unhappy ending, all of them, and it surprised me because I was expecting happy endings here in dialogues, but they wrote unhappy endings. That's all. And at the end of the sessions, I wanted to hear the students, I want to get their reactions. They liked the exercises, in fact, and they found it interesting and different. They said it was really different and nice, and they said they would like to do such exercises again, but they prefer face-to-face classroom. They stated that also. But in the end, my aims and the students' expectations meet each other. So I'm glad. That's all. Thank you for listening, and may the bleach be with you. I wish you a happy, healthy year.
Okay. Thank you so much. After that, and Ercan hocam, are you ready?
Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah. So hello everybody. I hope you're doing good on those extraordinary days because it's getting weird day by day, isn't it? However, we are all here talking to each other and sharing positive vibes. So let me tell about myself a little bit. I'm Sercan. I'm working at Beykoz Anatolian High School and I have been teaching for 11 years. 2 years in Mersin, 3 years in Hakkari, which was the most challenging one for me, and I have been in Istanbul for 6 years. I also worked at a language school before, which I didn't like at all. I know there are some colleagues here who has CERTA or data certificate, and I also have a TESOL certificate. I got it in 2017, and my main goal to have it was to improve my teaching skills. Uh, can you hear me? Is there any problem? Okay. I think some of our friends have some problems. Okay, so my main goal to have a TESOL certificate was to improve my teaching skills, and I had to pay a lot for it. And honestly, Language Academy helped me to achieve my goal way beyond my expectations. And plus, I don't have to pay for it; it's free. So for this reason, I want to thank Sibel Hoca and Hayri Hoca, and I'm glad to meet you all, guys. Um, yeah. Yeah, my camera is broken, friends. My camera is broken. If you can hear me, I think there is no problem. Yeah, because I didn't start. I haven't started yet. Today I'd like to share a reading lesson plan, and you know sometimes it may get too boring for students to read a text or they find it difficult to comprehend. So here are some activities to make a reading lesson a funny one. Um, Yeah. So these are the lesson aims. Students are supposed to learn new vocabulary, practice extensive reading, complete all the assigned tasks, discuss the main topic, and share their experiences. And also language skills. 4 language skills are aimed to be used efficiently during the lesson. And we will be talking about all of these activities in the following slides. Yeah. And also, language system, there are some idioms in the reading text, such as hungry as a bear, right off the bat, and by mistake supposed to be taught. And dear colleagues, if you work at a high school and use Milli Eğitim kitapları, you should have noticed that in each unit there are almost 4 or 5 idioms in the reading text. And in addition to idioms, pronunciation is also very important. While teaching new vocabulary, you don't only give the definition of the new words, but also you teach how to pronounce them. And the target grammar is simplified in this story. So at the beginning of the lesson, you can use a warm-up activity. In fact, I think we should always use a warm-up activity to motivate the students. And here is a warm-up activity. It's called 4 pictures and 1 word. Students work as a group and teacher draws blanks, 1 for each letter on the board, and then show 4 pictures one by one or stick them on the board and asks the keyword, and students will give the answer in 15 seconds. But make sure, friends, you use check concept questions, which is called CCQs, like how are you going to work? As a group or individually? Or how many pictures am I going to show you? Do you have limited or free time to answer? Such questions can be asked to the students. I'm sorry, I forgot to draw some blanks for these pictures. Do you have a guess for these 4 pictures? What is the keyword for these 4 pictures? You can write it if you have a guess. What does these four pictures depict? Which word? No, Demet Hocam, it's not eating out. It's a famous fast food. No, it's not food and drinks. Yep. Well done, Demet Hocam. It's Burger King. And Burger King, this word is related to do reading tax. Yeah, thank you. So, before read the story, to draw the attention of the students, the teacher can ask some questions like, have you ever found something forgotten on the ground or anywhere else, or what did you do with it? Or teacher may say, let's watch a social video and see what people did when they found the wallet on the ground. Friends, if I don't take too much time, I want to ask you if you have ever found something forgotten on the ground or anywhere else, and what you did with it. Have you ever? I mean, I'm curious about if you gave it back or you didn't. Yes, Pınar Hocam. Congratulations, Demet Hocam. This is our responsibility to give it back, yeah. Okay, so this is our story, but I think it's not clear to read, right? So I want to summarize the story to you with a few sentences. There is a man in this story called Henry Snowden, and he decided to eat out and went to Burger King. But when he got his burger and he just noticed a sum of money in the paper bag, it was $4,170. Lucky him. At first, he decided to give it back, but he didn't. And next day, then he changed his mind again and then went to Burger King and gave the money to the workers. And the workers told him that they put the money in paper bags to prevent the robberies, but they gave him the wrong one. And this is the story. Before we read, I can say that there are a lot of ways to read, friends. You can make a loud reading or silent reading, blah blah blah blah. For the first reading, students do not focus on the story, but they just try to guess the meaning of the underlined words through the text. And for the second reading, teacher shows four cards to students, which depict the events in the story. And by this activity, you can also teach simple past tense, because the students should put the events into correct order, as you can see in this picture. This is the scene of the story, and students are supposed to put the events in order using simple past tense. For the third reading, for the last reading, teacher distributes a card to the students. Let me show you this card, a worksheet. And they are supposed to fill in the blanks. So after these three readings, you make sure that students comprehend the whole story. But when you're done with the reading, you can make a writing or speaking activity. For example, teacher starts a discussion in the classroom. The teacher divides the classroom into two, and one of the group claims something and the other group claims another thing. And the aim is that students should support their ideas. And finally, in this wrap-up activity, every student chooses a word or phrase from the text according to their number of turns, and they tell it to each other And at the end of the game, who makes the longest meaningful sentence or phrase wins the game. Here you can see a can of Coke, for example, a can of Coke. Yeah, my dear colleagues, this is the end of my presentation, but I don't want to take too much time, but I also want to share one more thing with you. In 2017, I organized a big show, and this is the poster of my show. It was called English and Dance Fest. And I think I told you before that I have been teaching also dance classes. I have been giving dance classes to my students for 4 years voluntarily. It's free for them. And this show means a lot for me. There was everything in this show, friends. There was dance, music, songs, pop songs, interviews, video shows, sketches, and so on. And these are my dancer queens, and these are also we dance on the stage. Yeah, and this is me. Actually, I love being on the stage as a teacher and as a dancer. And this is a picture from some sketches. And with the help of my students, I organized everything by myself. It was too tiring for me. But you know, I could see that. Unfortunately, students do not remember what they learn in English or biology or chemistry lessons very clearly. But you know, they don't forget if they take part and express themselves on the stage. Yeah, that's the end of my presentation, friends. I want to thank you all. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, John. It was very nice.
Thank you too. Have a good day. Bye.
I think it's Seldan start.